Hey guys, it's Chris Richmond with Awaken For Wellness. I'm here with Troy and Deanna. They are heading and doing some coaching with a breath therapy called chi breathing. This is about the fourth time we've offered this with Awaken For Wellness, I believe. Most of the time, first three times in the St. Paul location, and now in the new Hudson, Wisconsin location, when we have a little more space for people to breathe. No pun intended. But can you tell us a little bit about the chi breathing and the process?
Absolutely, Chris. Good. So we've been working this modality for about 15 years and just having a lot of fun with it. And the big thing is that right now the statistic that we've got is 90% of people are breathing at about 50% of their lung capacity. So breathing rates are getting really shallow, and we're seeing a lot of issues because of that. Stress, anxiety, a lot of mental health issues because of these shallow breaths, breathing up here. And then also even cancer rates are increased because of the lack of oxygen. The heart's working a lot harder. So there's a lot of issues that are going on. And chi breathing is really designed to expand your chi, which is your energy that's moving inside of you. It's all around you. Getting that chi really flowing and getting the breath and oxygen levels flowing too.
Wonderful. I know I had experienced this as well during the class, and I have to say it was the most mind-blowing and really, for 90 minutes, most life-changing experience I had. I'd love to share that experience probably in a little bit, but do you have anything else to add, Troy, about your experience or client experiences or people that have taken the class and their experience?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of different outcomes from people who've done that. At the bare minimum, people feel a sense of bliss. And it's beautiful to see that after they breathe and they just come out of that and they're just floating, cloud nine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's usually the bare minimum. There's all kinds of things we've had. People have reduced anxiety. We've had spontaneous healings. We've had people who've lost weight. We've had people whose backs don't hurt anymore. What are some other ones?
A lot of reduced stress and just feeling happier, more peaceful, more energy. Just people that are thriving, they're excited about life and what they're doing.
My first experience when we created this is I remember I had one of those bad days where I had a headache and I was irritable and hungry and tired and all that. And so hangry. I was all, yeah. So I decided to do the 30-minute technique. And when I was done with it, I just had completely shifted my state 180 degrees. And I was blissed out, and I was happy. I wasn't irritable anymore. My headache was completely gone. I was still hungry, but all the other stuff was great, and it just shifted. And so what started as a miserable day ended up being a beautiful, amazing day, and it was just 30 minutes to shift it all.
That is an amazing shift, and I can attest to that because everything you explained is exactly what I felt, but trying to put this in words just doesn't do justice to what can happen for some people. We obviously offer float tanks in our facility, and it's kind of the same journey. You really don't know what you're going to get out of it. You don't know what you're going to dig up deep inside. For me, just the physical response of it was absolutely incredible. When you talk about sudden healing, sounds hocus pocus, but it's true. I felt this energy move directly into my feet and this tingling sensation, and I went from being cemented down to the ground to I literally felt like I was about to float. I was just on literally cloud nine, I guess. And by the end of it, in truth, there was tears rolling down my eyes. I was smiling at the beginning of breathing. The first 5 minutes, I could not. I just froze. My face literally froze in a frown, and then it eventually turned to the smile. And then I just had to get up, and my hands were going up, and all of this. And I it's not that I couldn't snap out of it. I probably could have. But I was just letting the breath do the work, or should I say the oxygen do the work in the body. And, one thing that I consider is that oxygen, if we don't have oxygen for, longer than a few seconds, unless we're talking about Wim Hof, the Iceman, we can go 5 minutes or so, which in truth we can do when we oxygenate the body the way we do with the breath. But it's the first thing when it goes, we're dead. So
Mhm.
it is truly life to me, and you feel that. And most people have not been to that state of feeling oxygen really throughout our body and really being able to work on all of the cells the way it should. So there's complete truth in what you guys are sharing, and I feel that when I take your course.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, one thing we love is like breathing I think it really affects you on 3 different levels. And the physical, the emotional and thoughts, and then also the spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a lot of different results from the breathing on those parts. And, physically, it just infuses your body with oxygen. And so your cells are functioning better, and your digestion is better, and your brain is thinking better. You have more focus, more clarity. Like, this is just a physical aspect of this breathing. Then there's the mental aspect and the emotional aspect, with the feeling blissed, and it really can shift your thinking. We've had people who've gone to therapy for years, and they'll do one session on this. They'll just tell us how they've had this breakthrough in this one session of 30 minutes that they couldn't get through in 2 years of therapy.
Yep.
Now, results not guaranteed, right? But just for some people, that's happened. And then there's this spiritual level where it can really shift things on levels that we can't quantify. It may sound woo-woo, but it's their reality. We've had people get messages. We've had people get clarity on purpose of life. There's just so many different ways that this comes out.
If I were to sum that up in one word too, that feeling at the end of that first session I had with you guys was oneness. That's what I was called to just say or hear, was just this feeling of oneness. And what was also incredible was that I know there was another woman in our class at the time who had some rib issue or ribs removed, and she was, there was tears coming down within a few minutes because she just had never even probably filled her lungs up the way that we were doing just from the starting point of this. She's been holding on so tight for so long, so to move that diaphragm the way we were and to increase the oxygen levels, she felt it within minutes, and it was very, very emotional for her, as it was for me. Took me another 5 minutes, being all manly and stuff. I was crying like a baby a couple times too. So
yeah, it's so great.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
Just like what Troy was saying about people who've been in counseling and then really were able to get those big insights and really get some clarity in their session. Same thing, people who've meditated for decades also say, wow, it's always trying to get rid of the thoughts so I can have this kind of blank slate. And with breathing, because you're so focused on the breath, it's the same thing where you can just get to that blank mind and you really get to that mindful state. I think a lot of us are trying to go to that deeper level with yoga and meditation and floating and all of these great options that we have for us. And this is another really great option and something to really check out to see, like, how can this work for me too, to add on to everything else that people are doing.
And I really look at it as a base foundational thing to know how to breathe, and then to have the awareness to breathe throughout the day, because as soon as you feel it, and you can start to have more of a term called interoception, where the mind knows what's actually going on in the body, because a lot of us are so external. This is a term we use at the float tanks all the time. So you're more aware of your breathing through the day, so you know when to take that deep breath in again. I just did it as you were talking because I caught myself up here too much, and that's where we spend a lot of our energy. And I felt my energy when I was working with you guys right in through here, and it wouldn't let go until it broke through, and when it broke through, it was amazing. It was just like the whole, I don't get into it as much, but the whole third eye concept, that's what I was feeling. It was incredible. So this is I feel a really important class for really everybody if you haven't done intentional breathing. It is April 18th. It's at 6:30. That's a Thursday, 6:30 at night. It'll run until about 8:15. And this is out in the Hudson location. Also, there's the St. Croix Healing Arts Center out there as well. We share the building with them out there in Hudson. It's real quick. It's 20 minutes from St. Paul, so we have no excuse. You can get there after work too. You have anything to add for people on what to expect or how to prepare?
Just wear comfortable clothing and come with an open mind.
Fantastic. All right, guys. Hope to see you there. It runs $40. It's well worth it, and it's something you can take with you, hopefully for the rest of your life. Thank you much, and we'll see you out at the Hudson location April 18th at 6:30. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.